The athletic department is trying to cut the football team's spending, but equipment officials say it's the little things like water bottles that add up over the season. Jones plans on finishing his undergraduate degree right here at UNT. He then plans to go on to a university like Louisville, where he can be the women's basketball graduate assistant. Denton County may have gotten more than 6 inches of rain the last 2 weeks, but because of how this stadium was constructed, the softball team is ready to play ball. Now, these seats in the upper sections of the Super Pit are always empty during the women's games. Villarreal says he is concerned that attendance will drop with the new Conference USA scheduling. It's not unusual for student athletes to strive for a title, but these athletes aren't always equipped with the skills they need to earn a professional title after graduation. The University of North Texas Career Center started a program called Title Tuesdays last year. This program gives UNT student athletes the opportunity to meet with different employers within the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This year's event kicks off on April 29th. UNT Career Center Assistant Director Mark Pullum created the event, and he says the program has been successful in the past.
This is relatively new. We only started in the fall of 2013, and we had one particular student, Hilbert Jackson, that through this particular program works with Aerotech now.
Jackson played football at UNT. He says it feels surreal to be back at UNT as the recruiter instead of the student athlete.
I walked in the doors today, I walked past the weight room, and I'm standing here in a tie and my button down shirt. I'm like, man, I used to live here, I used to sweat, grind here every day, and it's crazy walking back in this now. But yeah, it's kind of a surreal feeling. I never thought that I would be, doing what I'm doing now.
Title Tuesdays will be hosted at Apogee Stadium this year. The Career Center expects more than 10 employers to attend. The Career Center targets employers who are specifically interested in hiring student athletes. Amanda Brown is a recruiter from Enterprise. She says Enterprise hires student athletes because they bring something special to the table.
Teamwork. To be successful at Enterprise, you have to work well as a team, and I think that's something that a lot of these student athletes obviously learn throughout their years of playing sports.
This year's event did not have as big of a turnout as it did last year, but UNT track and field hurdler Marcus Wooten says the event was well worth attending. All employers who attended the event said it was a success. Now it's up to the student athletes to follow up and earn those professional titles. Alexis Wand, NT Daily News. Many coaches and players think some schools are taking advantage of the controversial NCAA transfer waivers, but not the University of North Texas men's basketball coach Tony Benford. These waivers allow student athletes to graduate from a university early in order to seek a master's degree at another university without having to sit out for a year. This waiver allowed Vertrail Vaughns to play for UNT this season. Vaughns transferred to UNT from George Mason, where he earned a bachelor's degree and dominated defensively on the basketball court. He will graduate with his master's in interactive digital communication in May. Vaughn says managing his priorities on and off the court is tough.
Sometimes I just want to stay in bed, but I can't because I know it's something always got to be done. I have homework every day.
And when times get too hard, Vaughns reaches out to his mother. The Mesquite native has really enjoyed being closer to his family this year.
My family get to come to the games. I get to see my brother play his football, his last senior year. It's just been great.
But Vaughns is doing much more than just getting another degree. Coach Benford says he's an example of how hard work and dedication can bring success.
Parents really love that. When you have a kid on your team who's working on their master's, that's really a great feather to have for our program.
Vaughn says he is ready to make his family proud at graduation. He hopes he can maintain a balanced life, complete with his professional career and basketball. Alexis Wand, NT Daily News. Not too many people like the idea of student athletes going to bed hungry. After all, it's no secret that athletes bring millions of dollars to universities every year. So when a few student athletes across the U.S. expressed their views about having limited meal plans, it did not settle well with fans. The NCAA announced that meal limitations will be lifted in the coming months. Division I schools will be able to provide athletes with unlimited meals and snacks throughout the day. Schools could only offer a stipend or dining hall pass that covered 3 meals a day in the past. UNT football player Nick Summerfield says it's not always easy to get the meals because the cafeteria's hours do not always align with the athletes' schedules.
And so the moment we get done with practice, I'm probably getting a 5-minute meal and then I'm going to class starving.
One of the most popular places for student athletes to eat is Champ's Dining Hall. This particular dining hall is open from 7 in the morning to 9 at night. Champs serves up meals that nutritionally satisfy student athletes. UNT Associate Athletic Director Eric Capper says this major rule change will have an impact on the university.
I think it absolutely could affect North Texas. It could be, there could be a budgetary impact there. At the end of the day, if it is what's best for the student athlete, then we would want to do it anyway.
The athletic department will meet in May to discuss how the university will handle the new regulations. Capper mentioned that this could play a vital role in the recruiting process. Capper also says that bigger schools with bigger budgets are going to hire personal chefs and nutritionists for these athletes. It's not every day students at the University of North Texas get the chance to land their dream job. But students had the opportunity to attend an ESPN recruitment session on March 26th in the Business Leadership Building. ESPN production research manager Stephen Rutkowski spent his day at UNT looking for potential employees to work under his stats and information group.
I really enjoy recruiting. I really enjoy seeing a student that I've spoken to out of school come up and actually get a job at ESPN. He
gave an hour-long presentation about the different positions that are currently available to students of all majors. ESPN has about 12 entry-level positions available because of the new SEC network that will fire up in August of 2014. Rutkowski says students should not be afraid to apply to ESPN because he's hired several recent graduates over the years.
And I think that if they listen to some of the things that I told them at the info session, take advantage of some of the advice, if they make sure that their resume represents fine work experience, they have an excellent chance.
Students can thank the UNT Career Center for bringing Rutkowski to campus. Director Bonita Vinson says the Career Center has been working hard to bring major companies to Denton.
We had to look at who are some of the major corporate markets that we haven't tapped into yet that we could at least try.
And the Career Center's efforts paid off. Alexis Wand, NT Daily News.